Managing hybrid and remote teams. Effectively, the modern workplace is undergoing a fundamental transformation. Managing hybrid and remote teams effectively is no longer optional, it's essential. This course introduces strategies for driving connection, accountability, and performance in distributed work environments. As organizations embrace hybrid and remote models, leaders must adapt their mindset, tools, and methods to fit this new reality. It's not just about letting people work from home. It's about rethinking how we lead, support, and measure success. We'll cover critical elements such as trust building in remote environments, outcome-based leadership, communication practices, and digital collaboration. Whether you're leading fully remote teams or coordinating hybrid schedules, you'll learn how to unlock the full potential of every team member, no matter where they are. Effective management in this new era means combining structure with flexibility, empathy with performance, and systems with human connection. Let's dive in to explore what makes hybrid and remote leadership successful. The transformation, hybrid and remote work. The shift to hybrid and remote work is not just a temporary response to global events. It's a permanent transformation in how we work and lead. Distributed teams offer real advantages. Flexibility enhances work-life balance. A broader talent pool allows access to global expertise, and cost efficiency benefits both employees and organizations. Yet, these models come with unique challenges. Leaders must address time zone differences, communication breakdowns, and feelings of isolation. Leadership practices must evolve, focusing less on visibility and more on trust, outcomes, and support. Effective management is now more critical than ever because team dynamics no longer rely on proximity. Instead, they depend on clear systems, intentional communication, and inclusive practices. Success in hybrid and remote work requires a conscious design of workflows and team interactions. It's not enough to replicate office habits online. We must adopt new behaviors suited for this transformed world of work. Understanding the work models. Not all remote teams function the same way. To lead effectively, it's important to understand the differences between work models and tailor management accordingly. In a fully remote model, all team members work off-site, often across multiple time zones with no physical office. Communication is digital first, and asynchronous workflows are critical. In a hybrid structured model, certain roles are designated as on-site or remote based on responsibilities or geography. These setups require coordination to align in-person and virtual workforces. The hybrid flexible model offers employees the choice to work from home or the office, with flexibility in both location and schedule. This often involves rotating shifts or hybrid days. Each of these models has specific communication, accountability, and cultural implications. Understanding these differences allows managers to customize strategies for team engagement, collaboration, and performance tracking, ensuring each work style is supported effectively and equitably. Key management considerations. Managing hybrid and remote teams requires a rethinking of traditional leadership levers. Key areas of focus include collaboration methods, performance tracking, inclusion strategies, and team cohesion. For collaboration, teams must adopt the right mix of synchronous and asynchronous tools, ensuring that real-time engagement is balanced with thoughtful, focused work. Performance tracking must shift from monitoring presence to assessing outcomes, requiring clear goals, key performance indicators, and feedback systems. Inclusion is another priority. Without deliberate action, hybrid environments can breed unequal experiences between in-person and remote workers. Managers must ensure equal access to resources, recognition, and opportunities. Lastly, team cohesion can't be left to chance. In a distributed world, building relationships and shared culture takes intentional effort. These management priorities form the foundation for leading effectively across distance and difference, where outcomes matter more than attendance, and where inclusion and clarity are the new leadership essentials. Building a foundation of trust. In hybrid and remote work, trust becomes the cornerstone of successful leadership. Without daily visibility, managers must shift from presence-based supervision to outcome-based leadership. The first step is to set clear expectations. Define what success looks like in terms of goals, deliverables, availability, and communication frequency. Clarity replaces guesswork. Being accessible and responsive shows support without micromanaging. Maintain regular office hours, respond promptly, and establish clear escalation paths while avoiding digital overreach. Empower autonomy by delegating real decisions, focusing on results instead of methods, and honoring diverse work styles. Follow-through builds reliability. Consistently honoring commitments, providing timely feedback, and addressing concerns demonstrates trustworthiness. A great tool for reinforcing trust is a weekly check-in system. These structured conversations allow for progress updates and development discussions, creating transparency without surveillance. When trust becomes the default operating mode, remote teams thrive, and managers shift from monitoring activity to enabling excellence. Cultivating intentional communication. In a distributed team, communication must be designed with purpose. Without in-person interaction, over-communication becomes a strength. Strategic updates, documented decisions, and clear next steps prevent misalignment. Regular goal tracking, progress updates, and the use of collaborative tools like Slack, Teams, Notion, and Loom reinforce clarity. Managers must balance synchronous and asynchronous communication. Live meetings are best for decision-making, coaching, or emotionally sensitive topics. Asynchronous methods, like emails or video updates, work well for status reports and updates across time zones. Setting digital norms is critical. Define expectations for response times, meeting etiquette, and time zone sensitivity. For example, establish when video is expected, or how long someone has to reply. A suite of communication tools supports this system. Slack for real-time messaging, Zoom for meetings, Loom for recorded updates, Notion and dashboards for tracking. The key is clarity, both in the tools used and how they're used across the team. Balancing synchronous and asynchronous work. Striking the right balance between synchronous and asynchronous communication boosts both productivity and engagement. Synchronous methods, such as live meetings, phone calls, or instant messaging, allow real-time interaction, great for making decisions, solving complex problems, and building emotional connection. They are ideal for team bonding and brainstorming. On the other hand, asynchronous communication, like emails, recorded videos, or shared project tools, enables time-shifted interaction. This supports deep focus, detailed documentation, and collaboration across time zones. Use synchronous tools when decisions are urgent or nuanced. Use asynchronous methods when distributing updates, sharing documents, or working across global teams. Best practices include documenting when and how to use each method, scheduling collaboration time, and protecting deep work periods. Creating clarity around communication rhythms empowers teams to be both responsive and focused, reducing burnout and enhancing effectiveness. With intention, leaders can turn communication into a performance accelerator. Redesigning meetings for engagement. Hybrid meetings often fail when they're treated like in-person gatherings. To ensure engagement, meetings must be redesigned with distributed equity in mind. A remote-first format levels the playing field. Everyone logs in from their own device, even in-office participants, to ensure equal participation. Assigning roles such as facilitator, note-taker, and timekeeper adds structure and accountability. Use collaborative tools like Google Docs or Miro to allow real-time contributions. Rotate meeting times so global team members aren't always accommodating others. Record meetings and share summaries to keep everyone in the loop, especially those who couldn't attend. Respect time boundaries by starting and ending on schedule, with clear agendas sent in advance. Even physical setups can help. Use 360-degree audio and in-room cameras and encourage in-office team members to join video calls individually. These practices elevate meetings from logistical necessity to strategic asset, fostering inclusion and engagement across every location. Outcome-based management. In hybrid and remote settings, presence is no longer a valid measure of performance. Effective leaders focus on outcomes, not online hours. Start by setting clear, measurable OKRs, objectives and key results that align with company goals and define what success looks like. These should be reviewed and adjusted quarterly to remain relevant. Use project management tools like Asana, Trello, ClickUp, or Jira to track progress transparently, document milestones, and ensure visibility. Evaluate team contributions based on impact. Assess the quality, value, and collaborative effectiveness of work, not just activity. Regular feedback is essential. Schedule consistent one-on-ones, apply 360-degree feedback methods, celebrate wins publicly, and address concerns constructively. To implement outcome-based management effectively, begin with a pilot. Choose a team or project, gather feedback, and refine your approach. This transition helps shift team focus from being busy to being effective, and builds a culture centered on trust and results. Promoting inclusion and team cohesion. To prevent silos in hybrid teams, inclusion must be intentional. Ensure equal access to opportunities by involving remote employees in high-visibility projects, using transparent promotion paths, and rotating meeting times to respect all time zones. Document decisions and share them with the entire team, not just those present. Standardize evaluations by using consistent performance metrics for everyone, regardless of location. Assess output quality, not online presence. Apply 360-degree feedback and review criteria for geographic bias. Fostering belonging starts with public celebration of wins on digital platforms, frequent virtual team building, and interest-based communities beyond work. Team rituals help everyone feel included, whether it's weekly shoutouts or shared Slack channels. Use tools like Donut for casual pairings, Gather for virtual offices, and buddy systems for onboarding. Successful hybrid cohesion isn't spontaneous. It's built through routine, transparency, and community. Inclusion is a leadership discipline, not just a cultural aspiration. Equipping teams with the right tools. Technology is the foundation of effective hybrid and remote teamwork. The digital toolkit you choose directly impacts collaboration, productivity, and engagement. For communication, Slack and Microsoft Teams offer real-time messaging, while Zoom provides high-quality video conferencing. Project management requires platforms like Asana, Trello, ClickUp, or Jira to track tasks, deadlines, and progress. Documentation tools, such as Notion, Confluence, and Google Workspace, centralize knowledge sharing and reduce redundancy. Time tracking tools like Toggle, Harvest, and Clockify support transparency and help teams manage focus and productivity. But having too many tools can overwhelm. Avoid tool overload by auditing your stack regularly, eliminating duplicates, and consolidating platforms where possible. Each tool should serve a clear purpose. Equally important is training. Ensure everyone knows how to use tools properly through documentation and onboarding. The right digital setup, combined with clarity and training, creates a streamlined experience that empowers remote teams to work smarter and stay aligned. Developing manager capabilities. Leading in-person teams and leading hybrid or remote teams are fundamentally different skills. Many traditional managers need new capabilities to succeed in this evolving landscape. Virtual coaching requires managers to master remote performance reviews, digital feedback, and virtual career development. Emotional intelligence is crucial. Reading nonverbal cues through screens, practicing empathy, building trust, and resolving remote conflict all become part of daily leadership. Digital communication skills are equally essential. Managers must facilitate engaging virtual meetings, lead asynchronous collaboration, and write with clarity. They also need to guide remote onboarding, helping new hires feel integrated into the team's culture through mentorship and virtual rituals. Support systems matter. Organizations must invest in specialized training programs, provide peer support networks, and use leadership competency models tailored to remote contexts. With the right mindset and tools, managers become confident digital leaders, coaching and connecting across distance while delivering high performance and inclusion. Supporting well-being and preventing burnout. Remote work often blurs the lines between home and work, making burnout a real risk. Managers must model healthy boundaries by taking time off themselves, because team members follow leadership cues. It's important to monitor for warning signs, such as disengagement, fatigue, or changes in work patterns. Regular one-on-one conversations can help identify concerns early. Normalize flexibility by encouraging custom work routines and promoting wellness breaks throughout the day. Make sure teams are aware of available mental health resources and employee assistance programs. Initiatives like team wellness calendars, weekend boundaries, and end-of-day alerts reinforce sustainable work rhythms. Ergonomic check-ins and the 20-20-20 eye rest rule, looking at something 20 feet away every 20 minutes for 20 seconds, also help reduce fatigue. Well-being isn't a soft issue, it's a performance driver. When managers treat wellness as a core part of team success, they foster energy, focus, and long-term engagement. Leading with empathy and adaptability. Human-centered leadership is a core requirement in hybrid and remote environments. Leading with empathy means asking questions like, "What barriers are you facing?" and listening actively. It means acknowledging unique circumstances, whether it's caregiving responsibilities, health issues, or digital fatigue, and recognizing invisible struggles that remote work can mask. Adaptability is equally essential. Hybrid work is not static, so policies and practices must evolve with team needs. Experimentation is key. Test new approaches, gather feedback, and adjust. Transparency strengthens trust. Be open about your own challenges, share your preferred work styles, and be honest when you don't have all the answers. Vulnerability builds connection. Leadership is shifting, from command and control to connection, coaching, and co-creation. Put this into practice through regular check-ins focused on support, open feedback channels, and personalized flexibility. The best hybrid leaders lead from the middle with both clarity and compassion, creating environments where people feel safe, seen, and empowered. Case studies and practical applications. Real-world examples reveal what successful hybrid and remote leadership looks like. A global tech company with over 5,000 employees implemented core collaboration hours between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., cut meetings by 30% through asynchronous updates, and launched a digital-first onboarding process. The result? A 24% boost in satisfaction and reduced turnover. A financial services firm revamped performance metrics to focus on outcomes and introduced quarterly connection days, boosting productivity by 15% and broadening their talent pool. An educational institution created a 2-day hybrid schedule, introduced no meeting Wednesdays, and launched a digital wellness program, cutting office space costs by 40% while improving work-life balance. A healthcare provider developed a hybrid eligibility framework, trained managers in remote leadership, and built virtual communities of practice, improving retention by 28%. Across these cases, common success factors included clear expectations, the right tools, deliberate connection, and results-based management. These lessons show that distance, done right, drives results. Conclusion: thriving in the future of work. The future of work is here, and it's hybrid. When executed with intention, hybrid and remote work can be powerful engines of innovation, inclusion, and agility. Rather than creating division, distance, when managed well, can actually multiply opportunity. The key lies in how leaders show up and structure their teams. Success in this new era depends on 4 foundational principles. First, trust-based leadership must replace micromanagement. Giving people autonomy builds ownership and accountability. Second, strong communication systems are essential. Clarity and consistency ensure alignment across time zones and work styles. Third, shift focus away from hours worked and toward meaningful outcomes. Results matter more than presence. And finally, inclusion and well-being must be central, not peripheral priorities. The best leaders combine clarity, empathy, and systems thinking to ensure that every employee can thrive, no matter where they work. Looking ahead, organizations that master hybrid and remote models don't just adapt to change, they lead it. They unlock competitive advantage by cultivating talent, driving innovation, and building truly inclusive cultures.